Tommy from Synth Anatomy from the Superbooth 20. I'm here with Vinny. How are you? Or Winfried?
Yes, yeah, Winnie is fine. Yeah,
how are you?
I'm fine. Yeah.
Ready to for the Superbooth game again?
Yes. We are really happy to be here and that we have this wonderful place here at Superbooth. Last year there was no Superbooth, so we are happy to be here with a new product, of course.
And you have a new synthesizer that has a legend inside, because you had an iconic synth called the microwave, and many people said we want the microwave back, and now it's back.
Yeah, it's okay. So it's a history of microwave. It's a history of 30 years of wavetable synthesis from Waldorf Music. So the new synthesizer is called M. So it's a modern synth which should stand for its own, but is of course in the history of the classical microwave.
Is the M again a name of the James Bond, or is it now taken from in a different direction?
I'm just over-asked. I don't know. I think maybe it's
both.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know who chose this name, and so if it's a music production, so you have a name which you say at first, okay, we call it M, and we see later. But we like this short one short name M. So yeah.
And
the idea was to call it M2020 or Microwave 2020, but then it becomes M, and it's really short and nice.
And the microwave, or the M now, it has the core or the soul of the microwave, right? Or is it more an emulation, or how would you say it? Is it recreation, or is it code from the microwave?
It has definitely the soul from the microwave, because as you mentioned before, we wanted to bring the microwave back, but in a modern housing and with modern features like that you have direct access to all the parameters like cutoff. So we have the housing like in Cairo and Iridium as well, but we have all microwave wavetables inside, so 64 original microwave wavetables plus 32 coming from Q, from PPG 2.3, and a special selection from the developer, which is Vladimir, our Russian colleague. So he spent 2.5, maybe 3 years, and he has to start from zero because we didn't have a source code. So he did a great job in researching and collecting all the stuff, collecting the wavetables. It was comparison to the old microwave 1, revision 2. So now we have the final product, which is of course in tradition of the microwave.
And was it at the beginning directly your idea to take in the microwave, or what is or it guided to this? It was.
That's a good question. It guided a little bit to this because we were thinking about doing maybe a world of PPG or maybe microwave. So the first ideas was PPG, but when Vladimir starts with development, after a few months he said, okay, let's do microwave, a kind of microwave, because of this and that. I don't know the special reasons, but then we decided to go in this direction. So we have a modern microwave called M now.
And now with the M, could you explain briefly what are the features, what people get from the M?
Yeah. So what's really important, we have an analog system. That means we have analog VC, analog filters and analog VCAs. And of course, the wavetable section is a kind of digital section. But what's really important, filter boards, analog filter boards, and analog VCAs.
Okay.
So all the classical wavetables, as I mentioned before, and all possibilities, all capabilities from the microwave you will find with a direct access over the knobs, plus a kind of modern mode. So we have a switch mode. This is a classical behavior of the old microwave, and the modern M mode. So in this M mode you can do sync features, and you can do ring modulation, which wasn't possible as the microwave one. So we have a kind of new development, but yeah, of course based on the legend like microwave.
So you fused multiple microwaves in one device. So from the first, the second.
From microwave 1, microwave XT, also some behaviors inside. And what's interesting to mention when we hear the sound demos later, we have no FX, no reverb, no delays, no modulations. That was a decision at some time, should we go to it, and we had to spend a lot of developing time, some money of course, some other features, and we have to think about what's really important, and we decided to have no effects, but you will not miss them. And for a lot of people it's easy to, because we have also some multiple outputs, so you can set an effect part behind which you have in your studio or in your live setup. And maybe, I'm not sure, maybe we also think about there will be some effects available in future, like some chorus or flanges, something like this, or maybe, yeah.
And wavetables, so you said there are many iconic wavetables inside from the original, but you can also import new ones.
Yes.
How do you how you can make this? Is it made via an editor, or is it from you can do this from software synths, or?
Yes. You can definitely do it from software synths. One example is if you use maybe Serum, not Spectra. It's our software. Okay, if you use Serum, you can export it. I just tried it to do that. So export it as wavetable, 8-bit, 64 steps. I think that's the facts, and you can load it inside. You have 32 free spaces for 32 user wavetables. So 96 wavetables are fixed inside, and 32 places for user wavetables. What's one important feature is you can use all microwave sounds. They are existing on the market since maybe 30 years. So you can, if you have a microwave 1, you can do directly MIDI dump. So he's recognizing the sounds. You can use all the sound cards. So everything which has been released in all over the years, it's compatible. And this was a very important feature that we can close to this big market of sounds.
And system, as I understand from your press release, it's 2 oscillators.
Yes.
And then it goes in the analog filter section.
Yeah.
And then it's already the VCA. Yes. And there's no modulation metrics, right?
Yeah, that was a little bit kind of misunderstanding, because I read some comments that there is no modulation possible, but of course there is modulation, but not in kind of a modulation matrix which you know maybe from Iridium or modern synths. Of course you have all the modulation from microwave, but you can find them directly at the destinations. So you don't have a page like the matrix where you can set, okay, where's my source, where's my destinations. If you want to modulate the filter, go to the filter page. Then you can set LFOs, everything is possible on the. Yeah, if you want to set a modulation on the VCA, go to the VCA button, and there you find your. Then you can choose your source. So that's a different way.
And one question I get a lot read on in the comments in Facebook and so on. What makes the M different to the Iridium? Because Iridium has wavetables,
Right.
M has wavetables.
Yeah.
How it is different?
Yeah.
Does I need an M when I have an Iridium, or vice versa?
Yeah, so that's interestingly, that was a question I asked the developer a few days ago. So give me an answer to this question. Of course, you can do a lot of stuff with Iridium, of course, wavetables, but the sound is really different. You have the rough sound with a kind of analyzing, with a very direct sound atmosphere, which is really different to a more modern I will not say clean, kind of smooth wavetable design in Iridium. So Iridium is fantastic as well, but with the M you get this rough old friend, which is really impressive in the quality of sound and the analog filters and the wavetables. So it's more rough, it's more personal. So
dirty
it
or
sounds more dirty.
dirty?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
If you say dirty, there was a little kind of bug in the old microwave, so we simulated here that it becomes kind of overdrive and it becomes a kind of special mode. I forget the name and I have to take a look how to find it. But so this kind of stuff you will not find like this in Iridium. So let's have a quick overview over the M. So that means here the main important thing is the two oscillators, oscillator 1, oscillator 2 section. Now we have the mixer section. Then we have two LFOs. We have four kind of envelopes. This is one big envelope with 8 levels and 8 time sectors for playing expressive wavetable moves. Then we have a free envelope, and we have the VCF and the VCA envelope. But let's go back to the important thing, that means oscillator 1. Here we can choose the wavetables. So it's displayed here. If we choose the second one, you can see it here. And with the red button, you can, of course, select the waves inside the wavetables. So we have, as I mentioned before, two red buttons for Wavetable 1, Wavetable 2. So the rest I think is a little bit kind of clear. Now here we have the filter section. If we go to the filter, then it's kind of displayed how the cutoff or the resonance behaves. Here on top we have the arpeggio section. We have the LFOs. That means we have two LFOs on board. The envelopes.
And the envelopes use wavetables, or is it more the classic LFOs?
I think it's classic LFOs.
So you can use now wavetables.
No. I think it's classic LFOs. I'm not sure, but as far as I know, it's not possible. No. So here we have the oscillator, the waves we saw. Then the mixer section. So that means we have oscillator 1. We have a noise section, oscillator 1 and 2. Okay, a noise section. And here we can do the ring modulation. So it's shown in the mix section. Then, of course, we have the filter and we have the VCA for the routing. So as we talked before, if I want to set maybe a modulation for the filter, so I press the filter button. Then on the second page, then we have modulation source 1. That can be LFOs, it can be 4 free controllers, MIDI controllers, that can be controlled by LFO or mod wheel with the amount. And the second modulation can be set here. So, of course, like we talked before, we have this modulation possibilities, but not shown in a matrix, and it's directly on the destination. That means if we go to the wave, for example, then we have as well the modulation source, and of course the envelope like this. Yes. So we have the MIDI in out through, of course, and additional to the main outs, we find 4 separate outputs for separate routings.
In addition to missing a USB host.
Yeah.
Iridium has one.
Yeah.
It's
I think, I'm not able to give the maybe 100% correct answer, but there are a lot of decisions during development. Also question of how about the price, what shall we put inside, is it okay, is it not okay. Also we talked about spending an FX section, as like we talked before, like reverb, so we decided to put no effects inside. And so everything what we will hear later is pure and dry coming out from M. And I think kind of this decision has been decided with the host.
And can
Yes, now we have 8 analog voices, and we are thinking about an upgrade to 16 voices. There will be a separate board available, I think in the beginning of next year's. And so you, if you like to spend more voices, you can upgrade from 8 to 16 voices. Let's hear some sounds. Thanks.
It sounds amazing.
Thank you.
And I had an impression, some of the preset, it sounds like it had an effect.
Yeah.
You have the modulation.
Yeah.
It goes from left to the right,
Yes,
and also
right.
the modulation on the wavetable.
Yeah.
So it had a bit of this. You're saying it doesn't have effects, but that it sounded very like
Yeah.
effects.
A lot of sounds sounding like that you have something inside. Yeah, as you mentioned, you have so much possibilities with modulations, with pan modulations or filter, and you have this kind of analyzing. sometimes where you sing, it's a kind of chorus, what's going on there. And as I did the collection with the best of sounds for the first bank, I was sitting, I think I spent 2 nights and was listening to 100 of sounds. And at 2 or 3 o'clock in the night, sometimes I thought, wow, there is an effect section, but there wasn't. And during the development, for me personally, I thought it would be maybe better to spend an effect section, but when I had the chance to listen to it for 2 or 3 days and nights, I was sure that, okay, it's sometimes nice to have an effect, but you really don't need it. He's talking to you with his rough tables and analyzing, and so, yeah, there's character.
And is it already available, this Fable, this wonderful instrument?
Yeah, it's already available. We have a few devices on the market, and as far as I heard, some devices has been sold yesterday, directly after the release. So now we have to wait a few weeks to get more amps, but he's on the market, he's available.
I'm very impressed that nobody leaked it, and it's already available.
Yes.
Often it's
Yeah.
5 months, 6 months.
Yeah.
And the price will be in Europe or in US?
It will be 1,088. Okay.
Thank you, cameraman.
Yeah, okay, around about
display it, so
1,880 or 79 euros, yeah.
And it will also be then available in the US very soon, yeah.
Sure. We already sent some devices, I think 2 weeks ago, so to the US, so it should be available on the US market as well.
Okay. Thank you,
Joe.
Winfried.
Thank you.
Have a nice Superbooth,
Yes.
and hope to see you again in one of the next Superbooth videos. Bye.
Bye.